curtail their time, we'll have it. Agreed? So we bring in the next speaker, is Senator Niall O'Donnell, and you have 8 minutes.
Agus go maigad ire bail am héin má buíthe agus cógáirdes cheolú le seanadúir Gavin as an bil seo lagu osar góir an acht agus cumáile sin Barry Kearney's offic sige a codú leis an písareachtaach seo dreachtú agus mar a dúir daoine hana féin an obair bhí cartha seach ag an seanadúir ó Cloghardy cumáid. Minister and Las Caharlach, I don't think I need to, and I probably shouldn't have to reiterate the fact that this rather simple and direct bill is about workers. It's about protecting workers, it's about defending workers, and it's about offering the most modest, I think, and basic form of support and courtesy and dignity to a point, given the circumstances they're working in, to many of the people within our hospitality sector. You'll excuse me, Las Caharlach, I apologise for coughing and spluttering through other colleagues' contributions too, by the way. And when I come to reflect on this particular piece of legislation, I thought back to last night and a bill we had before us at second stage from Fianna Fáil Senator Keith Swanwick. It was the life-saving equipment bill. And we all acknowledged that that bill needed tightened up, including the proposer, that there was elements of it that could be improved and could be refined with expert input and knowledge added to it. But all of us, because it was a positive piece of legislation, because it could make a tangible impact in people's lives, in keeping with, by and large, the majority practice in this House, we all agreed to vote to allow that to proceed to committee stage, because it was the right thing to do. Because that is the place at which we can amend and change and develop and refine and improve legislation such as this. So I acknowledge, and in keeping with the spirit of the debate thus far, I acknowledge that a number of parties are abstaining on this bill, but I think it would have been much more positive and much more in the spirit of new politics, actually, and much more in showing a message, a positive message of support to workers in the hospitality sector if they were to vote for it to pass to the next stage and then sought to make their amendments and changes there. So, to go back, Chair, and my time's not up just yet, I don't think, but I won't use the whole 8 minutes. I won't use the whole 8 minutes, Paul. I won't go the full time.
I don't want to let him down.
Yeah. Well, I want to make the point, because I want to bring it back to the issue of the workers themselves, and I know some of them are represented in the gallery, and there's people following via social media and on the webcam, that they have to be front and centre and forefront in our minds as we progress this bill. And personally, I think it's bad enough when the state asks people to pay for bad banking debt and dips their pockets to pay for that, that we won't even take the move, or we won't consider at this stage a very simple piece of legislation that would stop certain employers, and I add that, certain, not all of them, some of them, from dipping the tip jar. Because as Senator Nice rightly said, that is effectively what's happening here. People's tips are being taken from them. Many, and let's reflect on the kind of workers who avail and benefit, and in many instances need these tips, rely on these tips. They are the people, if we refer to Senator Buttimer's limited recovery that he points to in this state. The limited recovery we have had is because of those people. It's because of the people who got up and put their shoulder to the wheel and work in the kind of precarious jobs that are in the hospitality sector, who do get up incredibly early in the morning to go over and turn over bedrooms in hotels, to go in and wash down kitchens and raid up barroom floors. These are the people who have led to the recovery, and at the very least we can do is to ensure that the tips that they get for the good service that they provide, despite the often horrible conditions they're working in, as identified by the research in Galway carried out by Senator O'Cloherty, the very least we can do is ensure that there aren't employers taking the tips off those people, where they rely on that to make up the difference in their wages, which can often lead and perpetuate the kind of awfulness that we've seen in this state around homelessness. You know, we're forcing people into poverty where they may lose jobs, where they lose their homes, where they aren't able to afford rent. That is the difference tragically, albeit tragically it shouldn't be. But that is the difference sometimes that this can make to people's lives, and their employers taking tips off their staff. They're stealing them. They're effectively driving them further into poverty. So I think we have an opportunity here to do something very simple, something very straightforward, something very, very positive. It's laid out in the bill. I think we should ensure that we allow it to proceed to the next stage, where we can, as other colleagues have outlined, make the necessary amendments. We have no objection to that.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you.